Imagine the year 1942. The world is in the throes of a devastating conflict, World War II, a global chessboard of war, its players, powerful nations, each with their own strategic agendas and military prowess. On one side, the Axis powers led by Germany, Italy, and Japan. On the other, the Allies including the United States, the United Kingdom, and the Soviet Union. In this grand theater of war, one city held a strategic importance that belied its size: Stalingrad. Positioned on the banks of the Volga River, it was a transportation hub that connected various parts of the vast Soviet Union. But even more crucially, it was a gateway to the oil-rich Caucasus region, a prize the Axis powers were desperate to claim. As the shadows of war loomed large, the city braced itself for the trials ahead. The stage was set. The Battle of Stalingrad, one of the deadliest battles in human history, was about to begin. The German Wehrmacht launched its offensive on Stalingrad on August 23, 1942. With a strategy marked by air raids and heavy artillery, the German forces sought to rapidly encircle the city, aiming to swiftly seize control. The initial Soviet unpreparedness only made the German advance appear more formidable, as they managed to penetrate deep into Soviet territory with relative ease. The German strategy was based on the Blitzkrieg, or lightning war, a military doctrine designed to create disorganization among enemy forces through short, fast, powerful attacks. However, this was not a typical battlefield. Stalingrad was a sprawling urban landscape, a terrain that the German forces were not ideally equipped to handle. The early days of the battle saw the Germans making significant headway, but the city's defenders were far from defeated. They were merely regrouping, preparing to mount a defense that would reverberate through the annals of history. Despite their initial gains, the Germans were unaware of the fierce resistance they were about to encounter. The battle soon morphed into a brutal urban warfare. The city of Stalingrad became a battleground, brick by brick, building by building. Every street, every factory, every house became a front line. The ferocity of the combat was unparalleled as soldiers fought tooth and nail for control of individual buildings. This was not a war of maneuver and strategy, but a war of attrition and endurance. The harsh Russian winter added another layer of complexity to the battle. Temperatures plummeted, creating icy conditions that made survival, let alone fighting, a monumental task. Yet, despite the bitter cold and relentless German assault, the Soviet soldiers and civilians displayed an indomitable spirit of resilience. Their determination was fueled by a powerful directive from Stalin himself, known as the "not one step back" order. This command meant exactly what it said. Retreat was not an option. The Soviet people were fighting for their very existence, their homes, their families, and they would not be pushed back. The resilience of the Soviet soldiers and civilians in the face of overwhelming odds and severe conditions was a testament to their resolve. It was a brutal, harsh, and unforgiving battle, but the spirit of the Soviet people never wavered. As winter set in, the tide began to turn. On November 19th, the Soviets launched Operation Uranus, a massive counter-offensive. This operation, carefully planned and executed, marked the turning point of the Battle of Stalingrad. Its aim was to encircle and trap the German Sixth Army in a grand pincer maneuver, a classic military strategy that the Red Army executed with unprecedented scale and precision. The Soviets, having endured months of grueling urban warfare, now turned the tables on their adversaries. The German forces, stretched thin and ill-prepared for the harsh Russian winter, found themselves encircled and cut off from their supply lines. The Soviet forces, in a relentless push, tightened the noose around their foes in what would become known as the Stalingrad Pocket. As the weeks wore on, the German situation became increasingly dire. The winter conditions worsened, supplies dwindled, and morale plummeted. Despite desperate attempts to break out or resupply, the German Sixth Army remained trapped in the Stalingrad Pocket. Finally, in February 1943, after enduring unimaginable hardships, the remnants of the German Sixth Army surrendered. This capitulation marked the end of the Battle of Stalingrad, one of the bloodiest and most brutal battles in human history. The German defeat marked a significant turning point in the war. Indeed, it signaled a shift in momentum in favor of the Allies and marked the beginning of the end for Nazi Germany. From this point on, the Soviet Union would take the offensive, pushing the Germans back towards Berlin. The Battle of Stalingrad had a profound impact on the course of World War II. This wasn't just a military confrontation, but a symbolic clash that reverberated across the globe. The Soviet victory marked a significant shift in momentum, tipping the scales towards the Allies. It sent a clear message: the Axis powers were not invincible. The defeat severely damaged German military capacity, dealing a blow to their eastern front and significantly hindering their ability to wage war. But perhaps more importantly, it had a tremendous psychological impact. The invincible German army had been beaten, a fact that boosted Soviet morale and instilled the Allied forces with newfound hope. Beyond the battlefield, the Battle of Stalingrad became a symbol of human resilience, of determination in the face of overwhelming odds. The Battle of Stalingrad remains a testament to human resilience in the face of overwhelming odds. It was not just a battle, it was a turning point in the history of the 20th century. Remember to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more historical content.